Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Sanderlanche podcast. I'm Data, and with me today is...
It's Joe.
And then we have a very special guest. You may remember him from such episodes as the Sanderlanche Christmas special. It is...
Poet.
So why is Poet here? And Jamie and Dak are not here. Well, you may have noticed in the title of the episode that we are not doing the next section of Warbreaker as planned. Dak and Jamie, there's some stuff going on in their house. Some people got sick. There's a whole thing, so they could not record, and I wanted to try to get something out for you guys. So we invited our guest on for another special, hopefully entertaining experience.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, if Poet's here, it's going to be an entertaining experience. Let's just throw that out.
Our classic friend of the show, yep. So I will explain right after the intro. Hang on to something, everybody. The Sanderlanche is about to begin.
I'm gonna set this city alight. I'm going higher tonight, yeah. I can see the world from my satellite. I'm going higher tonight, yeah. I'm gonna set this city alight. I'm going higher tonight, yeah. I can see the world from my satellite.
So yeah, obviously we're not going to talk about any more chapters since Jamie and Dak aren't here, and also Poet hasn't read this book, so that would be a rude thing to make this episode about.
It would be interesting to try to get him to say, "Hey, what's going on in Warbreaker, Poet?"
So yeah, Vivenna showed up, and what did you think of all that?
Yeah, what do you think about it?
Wow, it was crazy. I did not expect her to come back from the dead. First off,
it's funny because we've been theorizing that she might die. So.
Yeah.
Oh no! Spoiler alert.
But yeah, it's true. This is the first for the show because Poet was on the Christmas episode, but I was not on the Christmas episode, so it's our first time together on the show. Although I know him well,
and
it's true.
This will be fun.
If you haven't heard the Christmas episode, since that's a very old episode, it is on YouTube. You can go out and find the what was it called? I just had it up in it. The Sanderlanche podcast holiday special, where we had special guests, Poet and also Matt, and they looked at pictures from some fan art from the Final Empire and had to try to figure out what was going on. It was pretty hilarious.
Yeah. Also, I guess I shouldn't call it the Christmas special because it has nothing to do with Christmas. It is just like a holiday episode.
It just happened to be at the holiday season because everyone else was like, "Hey, it's the holidays. We want to take a break to be with our families and stuff." Psychos. So for this one, after some brainstorming, I came up with an idea that I thought would be amusing. So I'm going to call this one Fantasy Names or something along those lines. I'll figure out the title when we get there. And so I've gotten a bunch of names from Brandon's works, most of which is stuff that we've read on the show already, although there are a few that are going to be from stuff we haven't read. So Joe may even, be able to participate on that level with those.
Oh, interesting.
And so the first section, the larger section, I'm going to type these names in, and I want Poet to try to figure out, A, how to pronounce it, which is great because he's classically not how did you pronounce the main character of Name of the Wind?
Kavoth. And it's
Right, Kavoth.
Supposed to be Quoth.
Classic character, Quoth.
Listen, folks, I barely speak English.
And so after he takes some shots at pronouncing it, and we heckle and try to quote unquote help, he's going to also guess whether it is a person, place, or thing, this proper noun.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
And then there's a smaller section that after we've gotten through those, I have some nicknames of people from the books, and I want to see if you can take the nickname and figure out what their actual name is that was shortened into this nickname.
Interesting.
So obviously, since this is audio only, you guys won't be able to see the words that I'm typing for them. And instead of me sitting here and reading off the letters for everyone, I think it'll be more fun if the audience gets to participate too by listening to Poet try to pronounce it and you guys try to figure out what it is that he's saying.
Oh, yeah. Some audience participation. I like that.
Yeah. So we will let's move right into it. This is going to be these are from all different books, short stories, all that stuff that Brandon has done. It's not even all Cosmere. I think there's at least one thing in here that I pulled that wasn't a Cosmere thing. So this will be interesting. I'm going to start off with a relatively easy one. that will also give us some room to kind of talk about the source of some of these.
Are you gonna say like what it's?
Some of the pronunciations.
Are you gonna say what series it's from so that our listeners have some context?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
When I put it in there, once we've gotten through and we've tried to figure it out, then I will definitely say what it's from. Okay. So here's the first word going into the chat.
All right. All right. This is an easy one. This is going to be Kelsier, which is more than Kelsey.
Sure.
Okay, Kelsier. That makes sense to me. That's how I pronounce that for sure. Do you think so? Is it a person, place, or thing? If it's more than Kelsey.
Yeah. It's a greater version of Kelsey.
Oh, okay, so it's Kelsey, but so she's leveled up.
Yeah. Maybe it's like the Pokemon evolution of Kelsey.
No, yeah.
Okay.
So what's interesting about this one is that this is, and obviously the audience should know because he got that one the way that we've always said it. But in actuality, like this is from the Final Empire. That's the book that Poet saw pictures from before.
Oh, about the breakdancers.
Yes, this was
The breakdancers.
This is the main breakdancing guy.
Okay.
And
the hero breakdancer.
Yeah. And so all of the names, well, not all of the names. So the main culture from that book has like this French influence. And so the names, the technical correct pronunciation of the names is more French. So if you were to try to be technically correct, this would be like Kelsier.
Oh.
But no one says it like that.
Kelsier. Like, oui, oui.
Even Brandon in interviews and stuff calls him Kelsier. But technically the pronunciation would be Kelsier.
Yeah, I don't think that we've ever subscribed to that technical pronunciation.
No. And that's when we get to certain names from one book, it's so in fact, here, let's just we're going to move right into that because that'll open up some more discussion. Here's the second word going in.
Okay.
All right. This is going to be Elantris.
Okay. And so what or who is that?
That's a city. It's the sister city for Atlantis.
Oh no, that makes sense. So okay, if it's the sister city of Atlantis, is it also under the water or is it like in the sky?
Yeah, no, this one would definitely be in the sky.
Floating city. Okay, yeah.
All right.
There is a brand a Cosmere world with floating cities. It is not this book though.
Oh, they got like a Skypia type thing going on.
So this is another one that we do not pronounce correctly on the show because I always said Elantris. I don't know if Joe pronounced that differently.
I usually said Elantris, but if somebody said Elantris and I was going to repeat it right back to them, I probably would have said Elantris.
So it is actually a city. So Poe is right on there. He's knocking it out. So technically, once again, while we always say this one wrong, we call it Elantris. The way this language works, the technical pronunciation would be Elantris.
Ugh.
Yeah.
We didn't say that.
No, we sure didn't, because that sounds ridiculous.
Thumbs down.
Well, and because the language that's based in uses aeons as the base, and each aeon is like these mostly 3-letter things that you pronounce like the hard vowels. It's like this would be based on 2 aeons, like Ela or Elay, and then Treese or something like that. But anyway, so Brandon puts a lot of thought into how to pronounce these things. I don't put as much thought into them. Honestly, I'm probably going to pronounce some of these things wrong because I don't listen to the audiobooks like some people do. So, they probably hear quote unquote correct pronunciations and I get them secondhand. But yeah, he's starting out good. It's just a city. It's not the sister city to anything as far as we know, but
that's true. It could
pretty good
be
job.
a deep cut. We don't know a lot about that region. It's just there's only the one book, so.
Yep. All right. Here is the next one. I'm picking these at random from my list that I made.
I hate when W's and Y's are next to each other and it's not when I'm saying the alphabet. Hander Wim? Wime?
Okay. Hand or Wime, sure. So what is it?
And this is clearly a breakdance move.
That should be a breakdance move. No, yeah. It is from Breakdance Planet, so you got that going.
Yeah, it's not a breakdance move, but it should be.
It's like it feels like it's when you put your hand down and then your legs dwimmerwin around you.
You just made this up. That's not a Dwimmerwim. Handerwim is a person.
Oh.
He's a dude.
Handerwim.
That's how I've always pronounced it. This is one of those that I don't know for sure because I haven't heard anyone say it, but yeah, Handerwim is how.
It makes me think of Wavering, and whenever I see that word, I'm just like, ugh. So many spikes right there with the letters. W, a Y, a V. They're all too close.
There's too many of them. Why them got be like that? Okay, here's one that I've actually mentioned this on the show, but it is from one that Joe has not read yet. So
Jasna.
Yeah, I would have said Jasna.
Jasna is how I said it when I first read it. That is not in fact correct. So, but what would it is? It's Yasna or Yasna. But what is it?
I can I could dig Yasna with a J. Makes sense.
Yeah. This has got to be a desert town or village.
Yasna.
Okay.
I'm if you mentioned it before, I'm trying to think. Is it a planet?
So it is. So I guess essentially those would both be places, as your guess in the person, place, or thing. A planet could be a thing. No, this is a person, in fact.
Oh, okay. Yasna. I don't remember.
Yasna is a woman's name.
Okay. I don't remember us talking about that, but I'm sure you're right.
No, I just mentioned it when we were talking about pronunciation once. Like, yeah, in one of these books, there's this pronounced this way, and I've always said it wrong.
Yasna.
But people in the fandom have gotten a little grumpy with like YouTubers and stuff because a lot of the names from this particular planet get pronounced wrong regularly, and so some of the fans are like, come on, say it right. Why aren't you saying that person's name right?
This is from the giant series we haven't read yet.
This is from the Stormlight Archive. Her name.
Yeah,
is
Stormlight Archive. That's right.
Okay, next. Here we go.
All right. Well, this is clearly the arch nemesis of the breakdancers, Fankal.
You say fan with an F?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's P. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that P and the H, even though they're separated by an A, they still make the F sound.
Fan
Yeah,
call.
okay, sure. Fan call. So does this person dance with fans?
Yeah, exactly. they are the call of fans.
The nemesis to the breakdancers are the fan dancers. Got it.
Oh.
This one is from the book that we're currently reading from Warbreaker. It's I believe it's pronounced Pon Call, and it is a nationality or a nation.
All right. Are they good guys or bad guys?
Well, it's interesting you say that because they seem good-ish, but we've got some very strong theories on the show from Dak and Joe and Jamie that they may not be.
They may not be what they appear to be.
They may be secret bad guys.
We're not sure. We haven't discovered it yet, but that's it's a possibility.
There's some sort of the theory is that there's some sort of mysterious force moving behind the scenes, and it may be one of these guys.
Mysterious.
Yeah, Pun Call. It sounds to me like it's like a martial arts move. Pun Call.
I can see that. And then like a fireball goes across the screen towards your adversary.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, here's the next one.
Bendalloy?
That's how I say it.
And this is clearly the metal they make Bender out of.
Oh yeah, I mean, if it's like Poet's on the show every week and he knows how much we talk about Futurama.
We talk about Futurama so much.
Excellent.
I believe it is pronounced Bendalloy, and it is in fact a metal. So you were right on there. Can't fool this guy.
No, I mean that was inspired.
I actually chose it because it sounds weird, but it is a real life metal. So,
oh really?
Yeah. It's got another name. Hold on, I gotta look it up again. It's also called Woods metal.
Woods metal.
Yeah.
That's a contradictory term.
I know, right?
What's it made out of? Woods metal? Huh? I'm sorry, wood or metal on that one? We'll just call it Bendalloy.
It's also toxic, so you don't want to mess with it.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Next word.
All right, so this is before I pronounce it, this is where the final breakdance competition happens at Babadinium.
So it's a place where they break dance.
Yeah, it's like where the final showdown is. It's like, we're this Sunday at Bava Dominium. It's like breakdancing.
Dominion. There's not even. Oh my gosh. It's
Bava Dominium.
I believe it's Bavadinium, and it is another metal. It is a mean metal that we saw not too long ago in some of the Mistborn books.
Like it's the average of the metals.
It's and you don't remember this one because they called it like Autonomy's metal or whatever. Or no, I'm sorry, they called it Trellium frequently.
Oh, okay, that makes
this
more
would be
sense.
the
Yeah,
technical name of it.
Well, can't have just one name.
I know, right?
Obviously.
All right. Let's go for. Here we go. Go back to this thing.
I mean, it. I want to just like Ken,
like Ken and Barbie.
Yeah, like just like, but like, yeah, like it's like you're like.
He put some steak on it.
Yeah, exactly. He put some steak on it.
Ken.
Like it sounds like Ernest is saying it.
Yeah. If I'm trying to remember the proper pronunciation for this, but go ahead and guess what you think it is, Poet.
Kine?
No, like what do you think?
What do you think it is?
Person,
oh,
place,
what do
thing.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Look, see, I told you I barely speak English. I understand it even less. This has got to be like somebody's name.
It is somebody's
Barbie's
name.
boyfriend.
Yeah. Is it Kain? Is that how you're supposed to say it?
The technical pronunciation is Kain.
Kain, yeah, and we again,
it's got the hard vowels.
Again, we thought that was ridiculous, so we just went with Keen.
Yeah,
Keen. I can see that one too. With Kain, it feels like it needs like an apostrophe or a hyphen or something.
Right.
Agreed. It should have, yeah.
But again, it's actually from the same planet with the other weird pronunciation for the same reason, right? Their names are made up of the Aeons as well.
Yeah. But I like how close you got on that one.
Yeah.
He's in the book, he is a chef / pirate. So
the Dread Chef Pirate Kain.
Yep.
Or Kein, whatever it is. Kain. I don't remember. We just said it and I don't remember.
You saying it like that makes me think of Warlords of Ka'a.
Ka'a.
The Warlords of Ka'a.
The mystical Warlords of Ka'a.
Did that have an apostrophe in it?
I don't think it was ever spelled out in the show.
Yeah.
According to the internet, it does in fact have an apostrophe in it.
Well, see, that makes sense.
Yep.
Ka'a. The Warlords of Ka'a.
Big Bang Theory, a show we all enjoy more or less.
Yeah, it's got its moments.
I enjoy it more.
Okay, here we go. Speaking of words that need an apostrophe, here's our next word.
All right, this looks like a text emoji.
I would say don't overthink this one.
All right, Tutelier? Tutelier?
I think that was pretty good.
Yeah, not bad at all.
And this has got to be like a town.
It is in fact a city, and I've always said Tutelier.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what we've been saying is Tutelier.
A couple of these that I'm going to use are actually really easy to pronounce, but I picked them because I was like, I want to know what he will think this is. So this is going to be an example of that.
Yeah, as going back to the original one he posted when we very first started, Kelsier, my wife's name is Kelsey. So when you said it's the upgraded version of Kelsey, I was like, oh, that's interesting. But
I thought you were going to say like she heard it and she's like rolling her eyes in the background.
No. But in Mistborn, when we were reviewing that and talking about it, that first era, anytime we would talk about Kelsier a lot, and anytime we said it or I said it out loud, she's like, I kept thinking you were calling my name, but then realizing no, he's talking about that character in the book.
Okay, next word.
Oh yeah, man, weed fingers. I got that one.
Yeah.
Nailed
Weed
it.
fingers. What is that?
Did they put me in the book? I mean, it's got to be a person.
It is a person. Yep.
I don't remember this. Is this from something we haven't read?
It is a minor. Well, not even all that minor character. If you remember the Emperor's Soul.
Oh, very, very distant in my memory.
And she's kept imprisoned by like a blood sealer who like puts a seal on her door every day, and if she escapes, then like skeletons will come and get her. That's that guy's name.
Oh, his name's Weed Fingers. He's a young guy. Or
Yeah.
no,
Yeah, he was a young guy. I'm pretty sure his name's only mentioned once in there, but
there you go.
I was wondering what poet would attach to that.
It's not a great name, to be honest, as far as names go.
Maybe in his world, it's very complimentary.
Yeah, old Weed Fingers over there.
Just breaking his fingers off to smoke. Maybe he's an ent.
He's an ent.
Okay, here we go. What's this?
I mean, it just seems like arse steel.
That's how I say it. Yep.
Yeah, I say it as well.
Which would be Bender's ass.
Bender's ass.
His shiny metal ass. Yeah.
Shiny.
Bite me on the arse steel.
Bite me right on the arse steel.
This is the name of a magical weapon, and that weapon
makes sense, right?
That weapon is a magical beatbox radio, so they can break dance to it, to the sweet sounds from Weed Fingers, a local rapper.
I like this like shared universe that we're building. It's
sure.
There's so much music involved here. We got the rapping, we got the break dancing.
It's true. Have you just been watching like Step Up recently?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Step Up 2, The Streets.
The Streets, yeah.
I've been watching the first breakdancing movie, Breaking.
Yeah. Breaking.
I have a very special set of skills. Breakdancing skills.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Breaking. The Awakening.
The Awakening.
The Awakening.
Oh no.
My achy breaking heart.
Would that be Poet's DJ name? Is Weed Fingers?
Weed Fingers, yeah. Or like
not that Poet couldn't just be your DJ name, Jedi Poet. It probably works.
True. Resin Weed Fingers.
Maybe Resin Fingers.
Resin Fingers, yeah, sure.
Vapes a lot.
Sir
vapes a lot. Yeah.
Okay, here's another name from something we've read.
Serene.
See, this one is deceptive. It looks easy, but it is another one of those with the hard consonants. So it is actually Serene is the correct pronunciation.
Serene.
Yeah.
I was gonna maybe go with Sarene.
Sarene.
Serene. Well, that sounds like an insult. Like that. Well, check her out. She's a real Serene.
That's not bad.
No, I can't. Yeah, no, but that is in fact a woman's name.
Well, ma'am, I'm sorry.
You are a Serene. Why you gotta be so serene?
Yeah.
Well, actually, serene sounds nice. Like if you were a serene person. But.
Right. Serene, not at the beginning of the book, not a lot of people like her, so that is like a thing.
It's true.
Don't be such a Serene.
Let me guess, she has raven black hair.
I think she's a blonde.
Yeah, I believe she's supposed to be blonde, right?
The exact opposite of what I said, guess.
Yeah, although at one point her hair does fall out.
Yikes.
That's true. Yeah, when she turns into a zombie, but not really.
Yeah, fake zombie.
Oh no!
Here's the next one.
Well, this is a person this is a medical condition, and they're hemiallergic to a chimera.
Okay, yeah.
It does sound pretty, Hema. It sounds kind of.
Well, he said hemi. To be fair.
Yeah, that's true. He said hemi-allergic. Is that what you said?
Yeah,
they're not. Yeah, they're not allergic. They're hemi-allergic.
Yeah, it's like a partial allergy. Like, I mean, they're not gonna go into anaphylactic shock, but they're gonna want to take a Benadryl.
But when they encounter a chimera.
Yeah. Chimera. What did I say? Chimera?
I've heard it both ways.
Chimeras are the creature. Chimeras are the ones that serve chai tea as a barista.
Yeah, if you're only serving tea, you can't be a barista. You gotta be something else. So there you go. This is a hemallergic chimera, and it is a kind of monster. I don't even know if they actually use that term in the book, but it is one of these freaky monsters created via hemalurgy.
And that is some sort of like magic hemalurgic or something?
Yes, it's a magic involving blood, and you take do you remember from that first thing that we did, like the guy with the spikes in his eyes?
Yes.
Yeah, he hemalurgic magic involves like shoving a spike through a dude and killing him, and then shoving that spike into someone else to give them powers.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Messed up.
Pardon the pun, but it's a real metal. It's a real metal way to go about superpowers.
Yeah.
Here's another one that Joe has not seen before.
Okay, that's not even a name. I'm gonna go. Well, I won't taint poets.
Okay.
Attempt.
I'll go first. Then we'll go Sajanta.
Sajanta.
Sajanta. I was gonna say Shazanat.
So it's like Shazbot, like we're doing Mork and Mindy here.
Yeah.
Ninu.
Nanu.
Yeah, Nanu.
I haven't seen that show in like probably 25 years or something, because it used to be on Nick at Night when I was a kid, but that's been a very long time ago now.
Famously set in my state.
It's not.
That is a Colorado show.
Yep, Boulder,
It's not a
Colorado.
good show. Don't worry about it.
Hey.
You're not missing anything.
You're
missing out on
Robin Williams over here.
Yeah. Well, he's dead now.
Hey.
Jeez.
Too soon.
So, I believe the
Soon.
pronunciation on this is Shah-Anat.
Ja.
And these are like sort of astronauts that go into the Saja.
I was gonna say that was a city.
Both decent guesses. It is, depending on how you want to term it, it's the name of a being. I don't quite want to say person, but
entity.
Yeah.
Is it a shirt holder? What are you talking about?
No, it's complicated, and we'll get there when we get there. I don't want to give too much away.
Sure.
Trying not to spoil things for people who are following along, but there was just like that one. I was like, I gotta put that in there. That's too crazy not to put in there.
It honestly felt like when what's that rapper's name? From Chicago.
50 Cent.
No, he's from New York.
Is he? I have no idea where rappers are from.
God
Common?
damn it. No, not Common.
Kanye West.
No, keep going. You'll get to it
Quavo.
eventually.
Twista. Now I'm going down this list of rappers from Chicago.
Tyga.
Polo G.
Definitely not those guys.
Chance the Rapper.
Chance the Rapper, yes. When
Is he
Chance
really
the
called
Rapper,
Chance the Rapper?
Chicago?
yeah. When
Yeah, he's actually really good.
when Chance the Rapper was on SNL, they did a bit where he was a sideline sports reporter at a hockey match, and he was trying to pronounce these people's names, and one guy turned around and goes, "That's all consonants in a row. I can't even try that one."
I love that. And he's like, okay, let's do that hockey. They had he came on and hosted again, and they did that bit again, but it was like an esports thing.
Oh, that's right. I do remember that
You got to
one.
pronounce people's usernames.
But yeah, he was just trying to comment on esports, but obviously like he normally comments on basketball, so he like has no idea how to comment on esports. It's pretty amazing.
Let's see. R. Kelly and Soulja Boy, also from Chicago, according to this.
Soldier Boy, tell him.
Montana of 300. Some of these people have these rapper names is crazy. I mean, I can't really talk. I'm data laughing, but I mean.
Oh yeah, you should have become a rapper with that name.
True facts. I used I was in a sort of a GIF conversation with my buddy, and I dropped the data laughing GIF on him.
Nice.
Sure, it's a classic.
It is.
It was a GIF. It was a GIF before they were
Duck.
GIFs.
It's true.
FBG Duck.
FBG Duck is this guy's rapper name. And then PGF Nuck. I wonder if those two are related. Anyway, sorry. That got off track a little bit.
Just a random section on Chi-Town rappers.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, here's the next one.
Sylvester if you do, Sylvester if you don't.
What?
Well, now you're not even trying.
All right, no, Sylvester is the first part, but Sylvester Viff? Is it got to be somebody's name?
I don't
Mr. Viff.
remember. I don't remember this either. Is this also from Stormlight?
This
or?
okay, so no, this is he got both right enough for me. Selvest Vith is how I would say this, and you may remember him more from the ads for in the broadsheets for something he invented, Vif Sparkle Tonic.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I probably wouldn't have put that together.
I mean, I could go for some Sparkle Tonic.
It's such a weird name that I was like, I wonder if they'll guess it as something other than someone's name.
I mean, it
Vif
just looks like a
Sparkle.
name.
Yeah, Poet pulled it out. He's like, I know exactly what that is. That's a dude's name.
Try Vif Sparkle Tonic. Twinkle, twinkle, big star.
Okay, here is the next word.
Riode?
It is Riode.
Right.
Perfectly
And-
pronounced.
That's a town
Riode.
or city?
That is, in fact, an event.
Mm.
I think I always said the Rayod.
Yeah, I think we said Rayod or Rayod or something when we said it, but I believe the correct pronunciation would be Riode. It was an event that occurred on the planet where Elantris happens that caused there was an earthquake and a chasm opened up, and it was bad for a variety of reasons that we won't get into. So that was not badly done. Okay, what do we have next? Here we go.
Hoyd?
There you go. Okay, yeah, Hoyd.
Yeah, the man, the myth, the oh, sorry.
I was going to say a person.
That is a person. I was hoping after using one of these with the hard consonants that you might go like Hoide or something, but no, you got it.
The man, the myth, the legend, Hoyd.
Yep, Hoyd, the mysterious guy who keeps showing up in every
Yeah.
book.
Or the sexy drifter, as I like to call him.
Joe does like to call him Sexy Drifter.
I mean, is he described sexually, or is
He's
Joe
described
just
as a drifter one
projecting?
time. Yeah.
You know, you could infer some sexiness.
All right. I mean, I feel like you're implying it, but okay.
He's implying you could infer, as he said. Here we go. Here's another one that Joe hasn't seen before.
Hmm.
I mean, I just want to say Seth.
Yeah, I would just say Seth. I would just take the complex of the consonants out of it. And
Or
just say Seth.
Or Zeth, like the S is silent, like Jenkins.
Yeah.
So I have always, when in my head, done what Joe said and gone with just Seth. I believe technically the correct one is Seth.
Seth.
Yeah, I believe the S and the Z do both get pronounced, but also kind of rolled into, so it's like Zeth. It's hard.
This sounds like somebody's D&D character's name, and they're also a Yuntai.
That's funny because I have considered using something like that for a D&D character name, but it is a person's name, so I'm gonna give you that.
Nice.
It is going to be, I think we will be introduced to that particular character in the first episode that we do of the Stormlight Archive books. So not too much of a spoiler there.
Yeah, the only name I know from the Stormlight Archive is one you haven't used yet, and I don't know if it's on your list, so I won't say how
It
it's
probably
pronounced.
is not.
Oh, okay. The only one I know from the Stormlight Archive is Kaladin. That's the
Yeah,
only name I know.
I figured Kaladin was what you were thinking of. He gets mentioned a lot. So
And that's like the only reference I have to the Stormlight Archive. I don't know anything about it except that one of the characters' names is Kaladin.
All right. I mean, this one looks like somebody fat-fingered the D in the middle of telling war.
it does look like that.
So I'm guessing it's not telling the war. So I'm going to go with telling the war. And this has got to be like a place.
So Tellingdwar is the name of a person, an elder in the Terrace Enclave in Era 2 of Mistborn.
Yeah.
The Terrace words tend to have the weird, like the W and the like another consonant hanging out there. We had one previous, like we had Handerwim, which was the same thing. That's a Terrace name.
Oh,
And it has
okay,
like the W and the so, yeah. I'm not going to use all these. Maybe we'll do a couple more of these. I'm being entertained. Here we go. See if this one shouldn't be hard to pronounce, but let's see what you think this is.
Bloody tan,
Bloody Tan.
which sounds like a terrible sunburn.
It does, right?
How's the beach? Oh, I got a bloody tan. Yikes.
It's a dude's name.
Yeah, he's got to be with the pirate guy. That's got to be like his co-captain, Bloody Tan.
You would think, right? But no, this guy's like a serial killer.
I mean, that makes sense. With a name
does,
like
yeah.
Bloody Tan, yeah.
With a name like Bloody Tan, it has to be a serial killer.
Okay, here, maybe we'll do 2 more of these.
Raoden,
Raoden is exactly right.
and he rode with the horse people, right? They're the horse people. They went
That
to
would be,
Minas Tirith or something.
That would be Rohan.
Oh yeah, Rohan. Listen, I've watched those movies. I've slept through them too.
Riders of Rohan.
You know, he could be a writer of Rohan, sure.
Dude, Dak would be killing me right now.
There is a character in Lord of the Rings called Theoden, and he's the king of Rohan.
Oh yeah, the king. That's right. Or
I think I blended those two together.
Yeah, you probably blended those together. I'll give you some points for that.
is he the king, or is he the guy who's like watching while the king's gone?
No, he is the king of Rohan.
Okay, it's the other place that Aragorn is
Gondor.
The king of. Gondor, thank you. I was missing.
Gondor is the
He's
the steward
right? Yeah.
that basically rules while he's gone. Yeah.
What's that guy's name? Do you remember?
Let's see. Faramir, Boromir are the
Walter
sons.
Bishop.
And so the dad's name is something Mir? I don't know. I actually don't know.
Okay, I gotta figure this out. Denethor the Second.
Denethor the Second. There you go. Yeah, I'm not good at remembering a lot of the Lord of the Rings names because I've read the Silmarillion and I get really confused because there's 4 or 5 names for each person. So I'm not good at remembering all the names unless they're like main characters.
He has that assistant named Wormtongue, which makes me think of Weed Fingers here. It's like
Yeah,
kinda...
well, Theoden has Wormtongue. Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, is it Theoden that has that? I thought it was.
No. Yeah, Theoden is taken over by Saruman the White, and then Wormtongue is like speaking on his behalf for everything, and then
You guys can tell it's been
out,
too long since I read these books or watched these movies.
Gandalf figures out what's going on, and he exposes Wormtongue, and Theoden comes back to himself and all that good stuff.
The thing is, when I want to go into that universe, the trilogy is a big commitment to reread, and so I end up rereading The Hobbit because it's quick, and then I'm like satisfied and I move on to something else.
Yeah. Plus, The Hobbit's just better. Maybe that's an unpopular opinion, but I think The Hobbit is just a better told story than the Lord of the Rings books.
Well, because it's a much more compact and like straightforward story than the Lord of the Rings books.
Yeah. And I get it. Like, some people like those epic fantasies, and like, sure, I enjoy them, but I don't know. I feel like The Hobbit just kind of scratches that itch, and I don't have to go farther.
I've never read The Hobbit, and I tap out of Lord of the Rings when they try to say 111th. I'm like, oh yeah, that's not. I'm out.
You mean 111st?
Yeah, that one.
111th,
Okay,
111st birthday.
I'm like, I'm not smart enough for this book.
I'm not smart enough to figure out what a 111st means.
Yeah. This is again a breakdance move. The Replar innate. It's when it's like it's like the original move was a Replar and people did that, and then somebody innated it, and that's what happened.
Okay. Replar innate is a person.
They sound like a prick.
It's his title, right? He's a Replar.
No. Replar innate is that's his name. He's the governor of Elendel, and he is kind of. It turns out that he's corrupt, so I guess he is kind of a prick.
Yeah, with a name like that, he sounds like he would be.
Not as much as his brother, Winsting innate. He was real bad, but
I keep forgetting they had like a different governor in every single one of those books.
I think they did. That's a good point. I hadn't thought about that, but yeah.
So I didn't even remember him because, the last one that I remember is from the Lost Metal. And that guy turns out to not be a total prick.
Well, yeah. This guy, it's the one that he's trying to save the whole book, and then it turns out that he's been
right.
Yeah, it turns out he's been dead all along. So,
yep.
Yikes!
It's a real bummer.
It was Agatha all along.
So there's a new governor every time, so they sound like the Ministry of the Defense of the Dark Arts teachers.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, I think that went okay. I liked what we got out of that.
That was fun.
Now we're gonna move into the other part, which is gonna be these nicknames. I've got several nicknames, and I want you to try to figure out. They range from like not too bad to there's no way you could possibly figure out this name from this nickname. So I think I'm gonna try to do them in that order.
These ones you're just gonna say, right?
I will also say them, yeah, but I'm gonna put them in the chat so that you guys can see. So the first one is Ham.
Oh yeah.
What,
I mean-
what would your name be if your nickname was Ham?
I mean, hamburger.
Somebody named their kid Hamburger.
You know, good old hamburger.
I mean, somebody named their kid Scar and the other one Mufasa. What kind of parents
No,
named
apparently his
their
original
sons-
name was not Scar.
Oh, it's not? Okay.
That's his nickname.
That's his name, like that he takes after he gets the scar.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
'Cause it was, it sounds more badass.
What is Scar's
What
real
was
name? Hold on.
Scar's?
Taka
real
is his
name?
real name.
Yeah, that's it.
But it's from the Swahili word meaning dirt or rubbish. So his parents named him Garbage. And
Yeah. No
Yeah.
wonder he did. No wonder he switched to Scar.
Yeah, exactly.
whereas Mufasa, what does Mufasa mean?
I think it means king, doesn't it?
It might. Mufasa, yeah, means king. You're right. So they named their firstborn kid King and their secondborn kid Garbage.
Well,
I
he
mean,
was going to be the
dirt.
king. I guess that makes sense.
I mean, that's what happens when you name your firstborn Colin and your second one Chet.
So no, his name is not Hamburger. I picture a lady like she's just given birth. She's on all sorts of drugs in the hospital. And they're like, "What do you want to name it?" And she thinks they're saying, "What do you want to eat?" And she's like, "Hamburger."
Well, famously, there's a comedian named Hamburger.
Really?
Yeah, he was on Def Comedy Jam, and he did so bad that the audience was going crazy. And the next comedian that was coming out was coming into the Lion's Den, and he absolutely destroyed, and his career took off after that. And that person was Bernie Mac.
Wow. Okay. Well, good for him.
Yeah, one of my all-time favorite comedians. Just randomly information about Jedi Poet.
There you go.
So here's
You wanted it, you got it.
here's the next one. I don't know if you'd call this a nickname or if you'd call it like she just kind of changed her name some. But there's the next one.
Nikki Savage. I mean,
Nikki Savage.
now the question is it Nicole Savage or was it like Nicole like something else and she was like, I want Savage as my last name.
Yeah. Okay. That is the question.
I mean, I guess I'm going with her. Savage is her real name, and she's named Nicole, and it was too old for her. And she was like, I'm Nikki Savage.
So in actuality, I mean, this is fantasy. So it couldn't be Nicole. It's actually, if I'm remembering the spelling correctly, it's actually that.
Oh, Nichelle.
So
Nichelle
Nichelle
was
Sauvage.
No, she played Uhura on Star Trek.
There, yeah, exactly. So that's she ended up in these books after that. Okay, here we go. Next one. This Docs.
Docs. I mean, obviously it's not their real name.
They don't want to get doxxed. Yeah, okay.
Real name Docs. It's a doctor. They're a doctor. Dr. Savage. It's Nichelle's
Savage.
dad.
Her dad does get mentioned in that book, but no, it's this guy's name is Doxson.
I mean, I guess I could see Doxson. Yeah, that one I get. Well, what was Ham's real name?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we didn't do Ham's real name. Ham's name was Hammond.
I mean, just call him Hammond. How lazy are you, really, Ham? Docs,
And then,
I get.
I feel like they almost all of them except for one had like 3-letter nicknames for what could conceivably, their names were not that long.
Right.
And then one of them's names is just 3 letters.
Yeah, like Vin is 3 letters. Although I
They
guess
call him V.
no, it's a girl, and I guess technically
Or
since
V.
it's all Frenchy, it should actually be like Vaughn would be her name. But that's really funny because like Vin is the main character from the first Mistborn book, the one that you saw the pictures of. She's the main girl that you saw in all the pictures.
Okay, yeah.
But then you guys named another character Vin Diesel, and the audience thought it was hilarious that like you pulled the name Vin out of the air, even though you didn't get it to the right character.
Vin Diesel is
Who did we say Vin Diesel was?
Says
Ham.
right?
No, it was Ham.
Oh, Ham.
Because
Yeah,
Ham's
but
like the big muscly guy.
I just remember the one dude I said was Marilyn Manson.
Yeah. Teenage Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, teenage Marilyn Manson.
That was the Lord Ruler, the main bad guy of that book. He was the God King or the God Emperor, I guess technically. The God King is a different guy in a different book.
That's a whole different thing.
Okay, here we go. This is a main character from a Mistborn book. He goes by Wax.
He
What
goes
could
by
Wax
Wax.
be short for?
Okay, this is going to be something ridiculous. It's going to be, I mean, William Axington.
I like that actually. William Axington. Now,
sounds like a private eye, private dick.
Yeah, right? Or a lumberjack?
Flint Cole.
Yeah.
Flint Cole. Wax is short for Waxilium. And then
that's somebody's name is Waxilium.
Yep, Waxilium Ladrian is the main character of that book. Or those books, kind of.
4 books, yeah.
Yeah. And he eventually has a child that this will be a bonus. His child's nickname is Max. So what do you think that's short for?
Maxilium?
It is Maxilium.
Not Maximilian, which would make sense. Maxilium.
No. Yep. Okay. Here's the next one. Shy.
Chicago?
It does, yeah, Chi-Town. I got you.
No, this is Shari.
It's this particular culture has sort of like Asian influence, which you might be able to. Her actual name is Wan Shailu.
Wan Shailu, and they call her Shy. I can see that.
Do we know that in this story?
I think it gets mentioned like once when she's first arrested or whatever and brought before the people. They're like they call her by her full name. Here's another one that I think only gets mentioned like once, and this is from the current book that we are reading. Siri is short for something.
Yeah, it's yeah, I have Apple. It's
her full name is Siri Appleton.
Appleton. When did Siri come out? I think this may predate that Siri.
I don't know.
I don't know, but they were the bad guy in Oblivion, the movie, not the video game.
Siri released February 2010 for iOS, and Warbreaker was June 2009. So
confirmed, Apple stole it.
Yep.
Breaking news, folks. This is gonna be like Siri Yirari.
You know what? I'm surprised at how close you got on that. Not that you. Well, here I'll put it in here. Cicerina is her real name.
See, and I would have said that Cicerana.
Cicerina. I don't know. I've never heard the audiobook, and like I said, that word I think is said once, so I don't know.
I don't even remember them saying her full name.
I'm pretty sure they say it at the beginning of the book, but yeah, that's her full name. That was my second hardest. Like, there's no way you could ever possibly guess that. Here's the hardest because, well, and Joe's favorite character of all time.
Oh no,
Spook.
Oh, so Cloudstrife is that's their nickname? I've never heard that one before.
No, he's being very sarcastic when he says it's my favorite character.
Oh, got you. So it's not. So it's Sephiroth? That's the nickname for Sephiroth?
No, I would say Sephiroth is a better character for sure.
Than Cloud?
No, than this character.
Okay, because I could argue that Sephiroth is the better character than Cloud, but
he probably is designed a little better. You're probably right about that.
I mean, I just played the Crisis Core, whatever it was, game, and you get a little more Sephiroth in that when he's actually alive and stuff. So
yeah, he's more interesting. And then the Ever Crisis game that's supposed to come out on iOS is supposed to have a lot more about him as well.
Interesting. So if someone was nicknamed Spook, what would their actual name be?
I mean, it's got to be like Ghost something.
Ghost Rider. Negative Ghost Rider.
Yeah, it's Johnny Blaze is their real name.
To give you an actual chance here, his nickname has nothing in common with his actual name.
His actual name is such a mouthful to say that Kelsier from earlier is like, yeah, no, your name's Spook now.
Got you. Is it Jack Marius? What is it? Jack Marius Tacteratrix?
Here's his name.
Nicky Savage.
I mean, yeah, you're definitely Spook from now on.
Lestaborns.
Yep.
Lester Bernie's. Weekend at Bernie's. I don't know.
This is what I was going for.
Jack Marius Tech-Theratrix.
Oh.
Interesting. Never heard of him.
Well, yeah, he's obviously a fake guy. That's Keegan-Michael Key.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it? I
Yeah.
couldn't. I was looking at the name. I was not paying attention to the picture at all.
Yeah.
In my brain, it was like, this is some sports player. I'm not gonna know who it is. I don't need to look at the face.
Well, it's funny you say that because it is a fake sports player, but Key and Peele did a bit on their show about the college East-West game and how it's sort of a playoff like the NFL and how the NFL players would introduce themselves and what school they're from. So
Yeah.
they just went through and did a whole bunch of different players, and they all have these like ridiculous names. Like one dude's got X-Wing in the middle of his name. Another dude's name is just Dolphin Sounds. and then the last guy that they do on the West Side is Dan from BYU,
Oh yeah, there you go.
which brings us back to Sander Lynch.
That's the obvious joke. I like that. Okay, that does bring an interesting wraparound there.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I had prepared here. There's some of the ones that didn't make the cut are Lasting Integrity. I was curious what poet would say that was. Far Dorist.
Lasting Integrity, like that's a name.
Yeah,
It's got to be like a name of a ship or something.
it's the name of a city actually.
Weird. That's a weird city.
What series is that from?
Yeah, you haven't read that one yet. And there's also this is a fun one because it wasn't from any Cosmere thing, and I don't even know if I mentioned that there was a non-Cosmere one. I don't know that I actually hit one. So here, super easy to pronounce though. So we'll throw this in as a bonus at the end here.
Nebraska, huh?
Nebraska.
I believe it is Nebraska. What would you think Nebraska is?
It's what people who don't like Nebraska call it. It's Nebraska. Gotta go to Nebraska.
Ugh, old Nebraska.
So in actuality, that the word is from a book called The Rhythmatist, which takes place on like an alternate Earth. And so that is the area where I'm pretty sure anyway, that where Nebraska would be on the map. It's not there exactly in that world, but it's called Nebraska,
Nebraska. Makes sense. An alternate Earth.
which is why it's not a Cosmere book, because the Earth does not exist in the Cosmere. So
Interesting. Our home planet does not exist.
nope. Okay, so I hope everyone enjoyed that. I thought it was we had a little bit of fun out of that at least. So you guys had something to listen to this week. We appreciate Jedi Poet being here,
Happy to be
hanging
here.
out with us. For next time, we should actually be getting to these chapters, Warbreaker chapters 43 through 47. So if you're following along, you probably already read those, expecting us to get there this time. But we're doing it next time. We've got the recording scheduled. Dak seems to be feeling at least better enough to record, so that's going for us. So come back next week for that. I do want to hit on one, not email, but we got a new review, and Joe is here, so we can go ahead and do our new review of the show while we're talking.
Okay.
So this review comes from. We're gonna have another pronunciation game. How would you pronounce this person's name?
Let's see. I would say Ikrupa.
Ikrupa. Yeah, okay. And what Ikrupa said, 5-star on Apple Podcast, fabulous podcast series. I've only listened to the episodes of the books/stories I've read myself. The team is fantastic and engaging. They have wonderful predictions, some that have some truth to them, and some that are just chasing volcanoes. I can't wait to listen to the rest. Definitely worth a listen.
Oh, that's sweet, man. You're a soother.
There you go, Ikrupar. You've been jumped into the Misting crew as a soother for your soothing 5-star review on Apple Podcasts.
Right.
If you want Joe to jump you into the crew, leave us a 5-star review. If not on Apple Podcast, then you can send us your review on Spotify or wherever, and we'll read it and give it to you.
I promise I won't actually come to your house and beat you up. That's not a thing.
Every time makes me think of the scene from Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back at the end with like that song playing.
Excuse
Everybody
me,
wants
do you
to kick
post
some
as Magnolia fan?
Magnolia on
No,
moviepoopshoot.com.
I just want to say, chasing volcanoes is a turn of phrase I've never heard, and what a terrible thing to actually catch.
Don't go chasing waterfalls or volcanoes.
Yeah,
True. Well, Poet, you may not know this, but that is an inside baseball joke here at the Sander Lynch podcast.
Oh, I thought it was maybe like a turn of phrase for somebody who lived near a volcano. Like, don't go chasing volcanoes. Am I right?
Dak famously had a theory about volcanoes that did not pan out and has become the go-to joke for crazy theories on the show.
That's awesome. Chasing volcanoes.
That's why the first shirt that we made to wear to the con last year was said, "Ask me about my volcano theory."
It's true.
Amazing.
And people did ask, and we did tell.
Yep. Whenever anyone asked me, I handed them out one of my promotional items that we'd brought. I had slap bracelets with our podcast name and logo on them.
Yep. And anybody, I guess this is as good a time as any to address it. If anybody was thinking about going to the con this year, we unfortunately will not be able to attend this year, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't go. It was a fun time. I can't imagine that this year will be any different. It may even be more fun this year than last year. Who knows?
Yeah, this year the release party that it's around is supposed to be for I think it's the last of the Skyward book series books.
I believe you're right. It's called it's called Defiant or something like
Defiant.
that.
I'm pretty sure that's right. And so yeah, next year should be a big one because theoretically it will be for the fifth Stormlight book. So I might try to make it for that one. This year I just cannot possibly afford with all the other stuff that I'm doing because in February I've got to pay for my trip in February to Australia where I'll visit Dak and Jamie in person.
Oh, you guys should record something for the show since you're gonna all be together. That's cool.
We probably should. I'm only going to be in Sydney for about a day before we get on the cruise ship, so they are going to come down to Sydney, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll show you around in a day." I was trying to decide before they're like, "Yeah, we'll come show you around." I'm like, should I try to see an opera at the Opera House? Like, that seems like the ultimate thing to do in Sydney, but I'm not all that into opera, so I don't know that I would do that.
Yeah, you don't want to waste your time on that. Not that it wouldn't be a cool experience, but just like I bet there's things that you could do that you would have more fun.
While we are here, and this episode can be a little shorter than some of the other episodes, I will say I'll regale you all with a story that I was telling Poet not long ago about us trying to get some merch together to sell to people.
Do I know this?
No, not exactly. And I've been waiting for a time when we had extra time to talk about it on the show. So where a lot of the Patreon money that we've been getting has gone over the last year is I have tried with multiple artists to commission art that we could use on some merchandise, like t-shirts, that kind of thing. And I started out cheap. I went to like Fiverr and was paying like $50 to get some quick designs, and they were crap, like super crap. Like it was like word art quality of designs. And the first one that I'm always asking for is an Ask Me About my Volcano Theory shirt, because I think that'll be perfect for us. And so I put a lot of money into that did not actually go anywhere. And so I was like, okay, let's take a step up from that. And I went to Starving Artists subreddit, and I found a guy whose portfolio looked pretty decent. And so I said, I'm not going to do what I did before and commission several things and have to pay him for like 3 things if I'm not going to like what he did. Especially because now we're getting more expensive. Especially to use something commercially, you have to pay like the rate to license it for commercial use, which is way more than just getting some art from somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And especially, and I believe in paying artists what they should be paid, what they want to be paid. I'm not negotiating here and trying to lowball them. So I think that artists do hard work and that they deserve decent money for it. So I go out, I find a guy, I'm going to pay him a decent rate for some quality stuff that we can put on merchandise. First, so I'm like, I'm going to start out this time slow. I'm going to have him do 1, see how it comes out. And then if he does a good job, I will pay him for more. So I commissioned a Ask Me About My Volcano Theory shirt that incorporated like a volcano into the design. And I thought it came out looking really good. I showed it to Joe and Dak and Jamie. I'm like, what do you guys think of this? And they weren't as enthusiastic about it as I was. I loved it, but they were kind of like, yeah, it's fine. I think somebody mentioned like, can we change one color here or something? And I did that. And so it was fine. So I was like, okay, this guy came back with a design that I really like. I had to pay him, like a few $100s for this, but it turned out really good. So I'm going to go ahead and commission him for 3 more. And then we will have like 4 shirt designs plus some buttons and whatever else, right? Commission 3 more from him at the same price for each one. They come back not good. Like, he's like, hey, tell me if you have any changes. And so I tried to work with him a little bit he's like, hey, can we improve these at all? They were really not good. Like, I couldn't believe this was the same artist. One of them was like getting back to that like word art quality of work that I'd paid somebody $50 for before. And so eventually I was just like, I mean, okay, I paid him for his work because I'd already agreed to pay him for these designs, but I'm like, we can't use these. Like, they suck. And so I decided, you know what? I've been doing this for months at this point. Like, this is
Yeah,
months
because
and months.
you came back with that volcano design for us, like, a long time ago. I had almost forgotten about it because it's been so long.
So yeah, this was months and months after we started the Patreon. Other than taking some of that money to pay for our site maintenance stuff, like keep our yearly fees for that kind of stuff, this is where most of the Patreon money had gone, was into commissioning art from different people. So I was like, you know what, this has been a long time. I'm gonna go ahead and make a store on what's it called, Redbubble.
I never heard of it.
I think it was Redbubble that I did. They do a lot of I mean, that's a place where a lot of people sell like their designs,
Merch.
for their merch. Yes. So I went out and made this store. I used the one design of the shirt that I really liked, and actually I took it and I like kind of did some different colors, and I turned the sky red and stuff, and it kind of made a secondary version of that design that I thought looked even more appropriate for Mistborn because of the red sky and stuff. So we had two versions of that. We had the button. I had to recreate the button that Joe was handing out at the con, the fuck spook button, and I made some designs.
Oh, it was great, Poet. You should have been there. You should have seen it. It was fantastic. It's the crowning achievement of my life, really.
That's awesome.
And I did a couple of other designs. Like I did just our podcast logo with the Sanderlanche podcast, and I think I did maybe the podcast logo without the words on it, which is something that I had. The podcast logo is based on a thing that I licensed for like $1 when we first started the podcast. There was like a place where it's like you can basically buy these little tiny pieces of art for $1 and then you can use them for whatever. So I took like a week setting up the store, making all dozens of different products, because you can take the same logo and put out a bunch of different products, but you have to kind of rearrange it and play with the colors so it looks good. Spent a long time making all the products look just like I wanted them. Go to publish this store. And then a couple days later, I get an email that says, you have been banned from Redbubble, and we don't have to explain why we did it.
What?
And I was like, what? And I got to thinking, I was like, that guy that I bought the expensive art from,
he stole it, didn't he?
The first piece looked so much better than the other pieces that I'm now like, did he steal that from somewhere?
He stole it.
Is that why I'm getting banned? Because I'm like, they think I'm violating somebody else's copyright or something because he stole that piece of art? I don't know that for sure, but now I'm scared to try to sell that anywhere, because despite the fact that I paid a fee for it to use it commercially, it might not have been his to sell.
Mm-hmm.
But since they won't tell me why, I don't know. Maybe they don't like fuck spook, although you were allowed to put adult material on there. I did make sure to read that and it doesn't even say fuck spook. It says F apostrophe or asterisk spook, but they don't have a ban on adult material. So I'm kind of doubtful if that was the reason. And so I started looking at other places. I was like, I mean, we could open a store somewhere else, but I don't want to use that one design because I'm afraid that I'm going to get sued if I use it somewhere. And Redbubble was the only place I found that would let you make a store like this, that would let you have buttons, or at least the kind of button that I wanted that looks like the button that we had at the con. And that was like half of the reason that I wanted to make a store, because people were like, hey, I want that button that you guys talked about, and I wasn't at the con. Is there a place I can buy the button? And so I was like, well, if I can't do the button and I can't do the one good shirt design we have, what's even the point? And so that is the story of a lot of y'all's Patreon funds that you donated to help us run the show, which I apologize for not being a better steward of that, but I wanted to make sure that everyone was aware of what's been going on, and why I've even said in the past on episodes that we were going to have merch, because I was optimistic at that point about how these things were going, and now I'm not so optimistic about it. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's too bad.
So yes, I've considered trying to set up another store on there just to sell the buttons, but I don't know.
I understand they're saying we don't have to explain why, but is there a customer service thing you can call, contact?
There was, and I sent. It's like, you can try to contact us at this email, but we're like, we don't have to explain to you. And that was, I sent them. I'm like, well, can you? And the response I got back was like, no, we're not going to.
Oh boy.
Because I think it may even be an automated thing or something where they're just like,
yeah, my guess is it's automated.
So yeah, I don't, I don't know what it was. So I don't know what we could sell or not sell anyplace. So I'm back to square one, and I've saved up some more of the monthly stuff to try to maybe find an even better, more reputable artist than dude I found on Reddit, which, to be fair, yeah, I mean, you get screwed doing that kind of thing. I get it. I've never tried to commission art for commercial use before. I've done it for personal
can you
use.
send me the volcano image again? I'm just curious. I'm trying to remember what it looked like.
Yeah, sure. And I can I may even post it. Maybe I'll use that as the picture for this time, because even if I'm not
you
allowed
don't
to
know.
I mean,
You may not be allowed to use it.
it's not a commercial use of it if I'm just putting it as the picture on the episode of the podcast. Probably.
I guess that's true.
So yeah, hold on. Let me see if I can find what I did with all of those designs. Here is the original image that he sent. Okay, I have 2 of the other things they did. I know I commissioned 3. I'll have to hunt down the other one, but hold on. I'll show you the subsequent art that I did not like nearly as much. And I guess you can judge. Maybe I'm wrong and it was fine. But so I asked for Sexy Drifter, but it was supposed to look like gray mist or smoke, like coalescing into the word Sexy Drifter. So it was like a Mistborn Sexy Drifter thing, and that is what I got originally. And that's one of the ones where I worked with them to be like, hey, can we improve this? Because I don't like the way that came out. And this next one is the best version of that I got, which this is when I gave up, and I was just like, okay, apparently it's not going to get any better than this. And like, I guess it does kind of look like smoke coalescing. It's just not at all like I wanted it to look. But also, it's like, I can't use that on a shirt.
Yeah,
that's going to look like garbage. Somebody trying to print that. And the secret bad guy thing is, we went back and forth on that one a couple times. I don't have the alternate versions of that in the same email, but it just never ended up looking anything like what I was interested in. I even sent like example pictures, like, hey, like incorporate like kind of this look with like, and maybe a little bit of this. And it didn't come out anything like I wanted. And I was like, okay, I'm going to give up on this now. But I like the volcano one a lot.
I mean, I can't say if that was stolen or not, like that volcano image. Like if it was something different than that, like I would say, well, maybe that was stolen. But that looks like, I mean, unless they have some sort of system where they can just throw an image in there and it can search like all images and be like, here it is. The only other thing I could think is maybe it's the fuck spook. And just because spook is a racial term.
Oh, it could be a racial thing. I didn't even think about that.
That
might be what it was.
What they're going along those lines is all I can think.
That's an interesting point. Okay.
Because that volcano looks very generic. In like, it doesn't look like something that you would just be like easily recognizable. Like, oh, somebody stole that. Like if you Google volcano,
I assume that they have some sort of like. I assume they have some sort of image pattern matching thing that they use to find that sort of stuff. But you're right that I wouldn't be able to just go out and look and find that the similarities to that. So I hadn't even considered that. So maybe I might try it again without the button, which is sad because, like I said, that was half the reason. But I definitely don't want to seem racist in some way.
Yeah.
So that's something to consider. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I haven't showed anyone these other 2 before. So Joe, did you have an opinion on the other ones?
No, yeah, they're terrible.
Okay.
they're very, very bad. Especially that secret bad guy one. Probably one of the worst designs I've ever seen.
Yeah, okay. So I'm glad that it wasn't just me.
No,
so,
it's bad.
We're gonna get a better artist to try to do some art, and then we're also we may have to get rid of the fuck spook button because it hadn't even occurred to me that could be taken very wrongly. Okay, so we may try this again. We won't have. I still would rather launch with more than like one design, so I may still wait until we can get somebody else to do some more. But yeah, so that is a little bit of history. I'm sad that I did it when Dak and Jamie weren't here, but we had extra time, so this was a good place to kind of dive into it because I've gotten questions from people from listeners to be like, hey, are you guys gonna have any sort of merch? I would love to pay you for this or that. So it's something I've been working on and not doing a good job on. So yeah, there's that. But that's it for today. Thank you guys for listening. Thanks, Poet, for being our special guest again.
You're welcome. Pleasure as always.
5 more chapters of Warbreaker for next time. If you're following along, If you'd like to send us emails, the address is thesanderlanch@gmail.com. Leave us reviews. Join the Patreon, where by the time this episode comes out, I think there will be one episode left of my coverage of Yumi and the Nightmare Painter. So that's about to wrap up just in time for, when October comes and the 4th of his secret project books drops. So join the Patreon if you're interested in that kind of stuff. We appreciate all of you. Wuzzing to the time of next. Colo, DS Fashion.
Got my purple wubs, man.